So here we are, another week in lockdown, and I hope you're all keeping safe. I'd like to continue with our theme on where we can find God through this time. If you stay around and watch this video, you'll get to hear how God has helped one of our key workers make some very difficult decisions during this period. So today I'd like to introduce you to Louise, one of my friends who's a key worker in the local Heath Hospital. Hi, Louise. I really appreciate you coming online today and sharing something of your story with us today and something of where God has been for you in the last couple of weeks. So I wonder if you could start by just telling us what you do for the NHS.
So I started my nurse training in November 1988, and I've been nursing ever since. I've worked in different hospitals, but for the last at least 2 decades, I've worked in dermatology, which is at the University Hospital of Wales. And we're all based in Glamorgan House on the Heath site in Cardiff.
That's great. Must be some great challenges there, but as you know, as we all know, as a nation, there have been some huge challenges lately. So how have things changed for you in your job in the last couple of weeks?
So obviously we had to make massive changes when COVID first came along, and when we went into lockdown, and we had to keep everybody safe, but also we had services that we still need to run. Glamorgan House has many different departments within a larger department, and I'm the nurse manager of all of these, and it's my big responsibility to keep everybody safe. We need to have all the patients that have skin cancer still seen, and we need to have people with urgent skin conditions still seen. So we set about finding a way that we could keep everybody safe, patients safe and staff safe. As part of that work, huge swathes of dermatology services were closed. They were no longer, and nurses were no longer needed. And at the same time, things were picking up in the main building. More and more COVID patients were coming, and staff were off either shielding or sick themselves. So I was asked to provide some nurses to go to the COVID ward, to the front line. This is one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to do. I wanted to protect all my staff and keep them in Glamorgan House, where we are a COVID-free area, and so to choose some that had to go to those COVID wards was so hard, but it is something that I chose 4 nurses to do. Unfortunately, of those 4, 3 have gone on to get COVID, and so you can imagine how difficult that's been as the manager.
So Louise, there's some really tough decisions there, and no one would have chosen to be in that position. But you're a Christian, aren't you? How would you say having a faith has helped you through these difficult times and make some of those difficult decisions?
So I've been a Christian all my adult life, and I know I'm not promised an easy life just because I'm a Christian. I've lived through the ups and downs of life, and always had faith that things are the way that they should be. During this period, as always, I feel helped and protected by having a relationship with God. When times are hard, I've given my worries to God. For example, as I drive to work each day, I would pray that today I wouldn't be given anything that I couldn't cope with, that the decisions I've made will be the correct ones to be made. And I want everybody to know that God gives any of us that ask a spirit of strength and power. And I am confident that he will see me through even the darkest of days. And there are many references in the Bible where God talks about things that have been talked about worries. For example, Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. And 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And this is exactly how I feel. I know God cares for me, and also my church family, who have prayed for me and other nurses regularly during this time. I feel the love of God at all times wrapped around me, as in Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And this is exactly how I feel. This is how I've coped day to day, is by sharing my worries with my God.
Oh, thank you, Louise. I really appreciate you sharing that with everyone. It's not difficult, is it, to share some of the challenges, but I know that you agreed to do this because you hope that something of what you've experienced and you sharing today might help others in similar situations to hear some of those verses and some of those reassurances from God about how he might help them too. So thank you.